Old school, we used to say, he's risen indeed, whenever somebody said he is risen on Easter Sunday. So let's go old school. He is risen. Now, I know that you may struggle with that. You may be here today and you're like, I don't believe that. I'm just kind of here to pacify my family or those who invited me. And I want to let you know that today is for you. And for those of you who are believers, or you would call yourself a believer, maybe the reason why you don't sell out, maybe the reason why you don't live for his mission, maybe the reason why when it comes to any kind of sacrifice whatsoever, I'll be a Christian up until that point, but like, this is going to cost me something? No way. When it comes to living for his mission, burning out for his mission to get as many people to Jesus, the reason why you don't sell out is because you don't actually believe that the resurrection happened. You don't believe that Jesus actually rose from the dead. It's a thing, it's an idea, it's a concept that you adhere to, but because you don't really believe it, it's like, I'm not gonna give my life to that. Because see, if Jesus Christ rose from the dead, here's the thing. It means everything that he said during his lifetime was true. And he called himself God. He called himself God. He said, I am the only way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. It's like, I really get hung up on some of the things that he said. But you know what? I believe in the resurrection. Listen, if he really did rise from the dead, that means that everything he said about the Father, being a loving heavenly Father who would run off the porch toward his prodigal children who are coming home to him and throw his arms around him, it means that that kind of Father really exists and that that's true. It means that when he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me. It means that's true. It means that when he said, I want you to now live your life sacrificially so for my mission, to go and make disciples, to lead people into a love relationship with a loving heavenly Father. I want you to sacrifice and surrender your life for that. It means that's true if he really did rise from the dead. In fact, 1 Corinthians 15:14 says this. Look at this. That your faith is in vain if the resurrection didn't happen. Now, you know this intuitively because you don't really believe, and maybe you're there, right? Maybe you don't fully believe that Jesus Christ, or maybe you kind of say it, but it's like, I'm not going to align my life with Jesus's teachings because it's not that would just be too Jesus freakish for me, and I don't want to be like all those Jesus freaks out there, that whole thing. It's because the Bible actually says this. If Christ has not been raised from the dead, then our preaching is useless. What I'm doing right now is useless if Jesus didn't rise from the dead. It's true. You may ascribe to his teachings. You may be here today and say, I believe even his miracles happened. But I don't believe he actually rose from the dead. It's the reason why you haven't sold out. It's the reason why you haven't started playing your role in the story of God. It's the reason why this idea of I should live my life to follow him and really believe that I'm just another character, but another person in the story of God, like John, or like Moses, or like Paul, or like all these other. It's the reason why you don't really believe what we talk about here a lot, and that is that you have a role to play in the story of God. You know intuitively that your faith is in vain, that it's all just one big waste of time. And so today, what I want to do is I want to read you the histories of this. That's what we have in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And in fact, we have 9 eyewitnesses who actually wrote things down. 9 reporters. 500 people saw him walking around. 500 people saw Jesus during the 40 days after he rose from the dead, and he was physically, and they saw him eating, and they put the holes in his hands and the holes on his side. 500 of them saw it, witnessed it, but 9 of those witnesses actually wrote something down. Having 9 eyewitnesses about an event is like having 9 reporters on 9 different TV stations reporting about a wreck on 285. And they're all saying, NBC and YouTube's got, Fox News and all these different streaming outlets are all saying, look, this wreck is a 15-car pileup, and they're adding different details that they think are important to the story. And, some add certain details, others add other details, but hey, this wreck on 285, don't get on 285 today. You see, you're holding back in your faith and really saying, all of my life, Jesus is Lord of all of my life. I'm not just going to go to church on Christmas and Easter. I'm going to go to church all the time. Not because I'm trying to earn my salvation, but because, look, the resurrection happened. Jesus Christ really did rise from the dead. That means everything he said during his life, you're holding back because you think you have to check your brain at the door to believe this.